As the President noted, we had a wide-ranging conversation. We thanked Turkey for its outstanding work in Afghanistan, and we discussed our strategic review. We have a similar perspective in terms of how to move forward, and Turkey's contributions to ISAF and the overarching effort is going to be critical. We discussed the progress that's been made in Iraq and how we can continue to build on that progress as the U.S. begins to draw down its troops. We talked about Middle East peace and how that can be achieved, and we discussed the need, a shared view for us to reduce the threat of nuclear proliferation, not just in the region but around the world. And as President Gould noted, we also talked about business and commerce because all too often the U.S.-Turkish relationship has been characterized just by military issues, and yet there's enormous possibilities for us to grow the economy and to make sure that trade between our countries and commerce and the lines of communication between our two countries continually strengthen, because we think that that's going to be good for Turkey, but it's also going to be good for the United States.
President Obama there with the Turkish president. His last name is Gül, Abdullah
Yes.
Gül.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the international face? Is it President Gül or is it the Prime Minister Erdogan?
Well, it's based on the European system, so the Prime Minister is in charge of the daily activities and is in charge of the government.
During President Bush's tenure, did he visit Turkey?
Yes, he did.
Was that early on or?
No, later. Was, at the end of his administration, it was more for damage control because there was a, as you know, Turkey and the United States differ at the beginning of the Iraqi war, and the attitude towards the United States dropped, ratings dropped dramatically. So it was, but one thing I wanted to say about that is that there was a lot of anti-government feeling, American government feeling in Turkey at that time, but not against the American people.
How is Turkey viewed? Here's the efforts to get into the EU. It's a member of NATO. So how amongst its Arab neighbors is it viewed?
Better. This current government has made a major effort of building bridges, stronger bridges with its neighbors. Since the establishment of the Turkish Republic, the emphasis has been a focus on the West. And now the current government is trying to balance that a bit more, of truly being a bridge between East and West.
Let's go to Jacksonville, Florida. Good morning. Independent line.
Yes, good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Mr. Mccurdy, I appreciate your being here for us, but I just, as a general speaking audience, would like to just ask people in general, I guess for the average viewing republic, what does Obama's relationship with Turkey actually mean to the U.S. right now, and why is this becoming a big focus right now when in times the United States and the world economy is so hurting?
The trouble spots in the world for the U.S. are in that region. The Iraqi war, the war in Afghanistan, the Middle East conflict. Turkey can play a key role in helping the U.S. in trying to find solutions to these major world issues. Our economy is suffering, but these national security issues are not going away.
The president was supposed, during his campaign, he talked about making a major speech in a Muslim country, and before his trip, that was downplayed a little bit. But is this likely to be that major speech that the president will make, addressing issues that Muslim nations want to hear about?
I think it's a start. I don't think, from what I understand, it's going to be the major issue, speech.
One more call here. Wyncote, Pennsylvania. Good morning. Wyncote, Pennsylvania, excuse me, on our Republican line. Hi.
Good morning, Bill.
Good morning.
Mccurdy, you're a paid apologist for Turkey. You conveniently ignored Turkey's occupation of northern Cyprus. Hitler correctly observed that Turkish Muslims slaughtered 1 million Armenian Christians, and nobody did anything. A precursor to the Holocaust that took place during the Second World War. And then you have Kemal Ataturk's approach to be a secular nation. This is all being turned on its end by the current regime of Erdogan and Gül.
Pennsylvania, I appreciate your call. We're going to get an answer from our guest. We have to wrap up here.
The Turkish Coalition of America is an independent entity supported by Turkish Americans. It receives no financial support from any government. It's totally independent. I am not a paid agent of any government. And again, what I was bringing out is the Turkish American perspective of these issues.
Lincoln Mccurdy of the Turkish Coalition, thank you for being with us.
Thank you.